All our lives we need others and others need us. Multi-generational ministry is about creating and sustaining congregations through which we collectively embody wholeness. Wholeness, in the way I just articulated it, is not a personal accomplishment, contrary to how we usually think about it. Wholeness is not a personal accomplishment because, in fact, none of us is whole alone. Wholeness is something we accomplish together in creative interaction with one another, in communities in which all are members, all are welcome, all contribute, all give, and all receive. All our lives we need others and others need us. So my task this evening is to give just a opening bit of overview around this theme of multi-generational ministry as the creation of congregations that accomplish wholeness. And so to set the stage, I want to tell a story from my own early experience in ministry when I began to get it about multi-generational life. I first served a small congregation that was about ready to close its doors. When I arrived, it had about 25 active members, and 20 of them were over 80. They were great people, but they'd been running the church for 50 or 60 years, and they were really ready to lay it down. But there was this tiny group of people in their 20s who were just moving into the neighborhood, and they liked these elders, they liked the church, and more of them started, and frankly, they liked me. And more of them started coming. The church started to grow. So after a little while, we had this church, and all the people were either in their 20s or their 80s. And the people in their 20s, many of them were come-inners. They'd been raised in secular experience, and so they were really excited to sponsor refugees from Cambodia and started run the daycare center and fight for women's rights, but they did not know how to make coffee for coffee hour. They didn't have any of the skills of infrastructure of church life. And the 80-year-olds had been doing it forever, and they said, okay, we got to teach the new young adults how you do church. In addition to all this great, wonderful stuff, just how you sustain the church. So the 80-year-olds planned with me and a couple of the young adults a Sunday in which everybody who came to church got a grab bag. And inside the grab bag were symbols of all the things that needed to be done at the church. There was a tea bag for coffee hour. There was a little bouquet of flowers for the flowers that needed to be brought. There was a broom. We did our own, we were our own custodial team. Right, there were symbols of all the chores that needed to be done, and there were dates on the things in everybody's grab bag. And during the offertory, everybody was asked to write their name on the symbol with the date if they were willing to accept the chore for that day and the task. So people did this, and we took the offering, and it was filled up with tea bags and little paper flowers, and so we were feeling pretty good about ourselves. Later that week, I was in my office, and there was a knock on my door, and I opened the door, and it was about 3:30 in the afternoon, and there were 5 kids there. They were the 5th and 6th graders, headed by one of the girls, Elizabeth, who looked very stern and said to me, "We have to talk to you." I said, "Okay. We have all come. We have something we have to say to you." I said, "Okay, come in. We have a list of demands." "Okay," I said. Elizabeth said, "We were in church on Sunday. Where were our bags? We were not given bags. We want jobs. The grown-ups have jobs. Why didn't you give the kids jobs? aren't we part of this church? Okay, I said. You are right. I will accede to all your demands. And we developed a list of special jobs for the kids, and they did them. Some of them came and folded the bulletins. Some of them weeded the flower bed. And we began to make progress as a multi-generational church. So this understanding that it takes all of us, see, how had we missed thinking of the kids? The adults were all thinking paternalistically about the children. We had people signing up to teach Sunday school and to be in the nursery. We thought the adults' job was to do for the kids. They were to be ministered to. But in fact, they also had a ministry to the community. So this is the thing about multi-generational ministry. It's about everybody is contributing to the life and ministry of the congregation. Everybody is ministering out of who they are and what they have to give, and everybody is receiving. Now, this understanding of religious community in its wholeness is something that accomplishes wholeness by all of us together, has roots in many religious traditions, deep roots. As Unitarian Universalists, we can draw on the wisdom of all the world's religious traditions that teach us about the power of holistic community, the power of life together to accomplish an embodiment of wholeness. This weekend that we have together, I'm going to offer a theological framework rooted in the Jewish and the Christian understandings of sacred community. And in particular, I'm going to share with you an understanding of sacred community that is grounded theologically in an understanding of paradise. So I'm going to be sharing with you some of the new theological work my friend Rita Nakashima Brock and I have just published in a big book, which Kevin will happily sell to you in the bookstore, called Saving Paradise. And what we find in early Christianity rooted in Judaism is an understanding of paradise as this world, the beautiful, blessed creation of God, an ecology, if you will, of blessing, interaction, diversity, and vitality, created and infused by the Spirit of life. Got that? Paradise, an ecology of blessing, interaction, diversity, and vitality, created and infused by the Spirit of life. Church as the community of paradise, or the concentration of paradise, most of all, was a school for teaching people how to live as citizens of paradise. Because the problem was people have been and still are living as if we were somewhere else, as if we were somewhere other than in a blessed, beautiful ecology of life, as if paradise were behind us, ahead of us, or over there, but not here and now. So people live alienated from paradise. That's what early Christianity understood. So you have to learn how to live in accord with paradise. And for that, there has to be teaching and learning and practice, so that people learn the ethics and spiritual disciplines of paradise, which are nonviolence, resistance to evil, and mutual care and generosity. Everybody gets the brown grab bag. So over the next couple days, we're going to explore this theological way of understanding congregational life as a concentration of paradise in which the multiplicity and diversity of life thrives in interaction. And as we do this, I want to help you see how revolutionary this understanding of sacred community is, and how strongly it functions as a counterculture to dominant worlds and to the dominant culture we are in, even to things that we carry inside of ourselves as internalizations of that dominant culture. To approach and live in sacred community as a school for life in paradise is a revolutionary way of living.